Hey Divine Ones, welcome to another live video. Unfortunately, I was not able to go live yesterday for Wellbeing Wednesday, so I'm going live today, which is Thursday. I hope all of you all are able to join me, whether you're joining me live or you're watching a replay. I have something very important I want to share with you that I learned in my own healing journey that is very important for our healing journey. It's something I talk a lot about with my clients. And it's something I wanted to share with you all today, and that is entrainment and what entrainment has to do with your healing process. So entrainment is a quantum physics term. It's a principle in quantum physics, and it basically says that it's the tendency for two oscillating bodies to lock into phase and begin to vibrate in harmony with each other. So you've heard me talk a lot about how we all are energy. This is something physics has found out. And I'll repeat the definition here in a second. But physics has found out that everything is energy, and everything that is energy is vibrating at different frequencies, right? And so that's the same thing with us. And you know, I've talked a lot about we are energy and our bodies are energy. And we vibrate, we hold a different frequency, we vibrate at different frequencies at different times. So like shame is a frequency, is a different frequency than love is a frequency. Frustration is a frequency. Hope is a frequency. Appreciation is a frequency. These are different vibrations, right, that we can hold within our energy field. So again, entrainment basically says it's the tendency for two oscillating bodies. So oscillating basically means vibrating bodies. For two oscillating bodies to lock into phase together and begin to vibrate in harmony with each other. So they hold kind of a similar or same vibration. And they've done this many times. There's been many studies that have done this. They've shown this where, for instance, they've put women in who all live in the same house. Maybe they put them in the same apartment or in the same house, and they watched these women over a course of a few months. And what they found is those women's menstrual cycles begin to sync up. So they begin to hold their menstrual cycles they begin to have their menstrual cycles at the same time. They've also found that people who walk together tend to join paces with each other, whether they begin to start out at different frequencies, at different paces, right? One person may be slower, one person may be faster. If they walk together over the course of like a mile or so, they find that their paces begin to sync, and they begin to walk in the same pace, almost at the very same step. They've done this over several different things. They've done this with different objects where they've taken different metronomes. There was a study where they took different metronomes, which is the things that keep time for music, and they put each of them, they started the metronomes each at different times, right? That they basically went click, clock, click, clock, click, clock differently. Like one was faster, one was slower. And over a course of a few minutes or a course of a few seconds, I can't remember exactly the study, whether it was seconds or minutes, but whatever the time length was, over that course of time, the metronomes all began to go in the same speed, right? So they've done this, they've looked at this in several different circumstances with several different objects. And they found that this is the tendency that when two oscillating bodies come together, they have this period where they begin to vibrate at the same in harmony with each other at the same frequency. Now, what does this all mean? You know, this sciencey stuff. What does this mean for you in your healing journey, particularly if you are trying to heal from some type of illness or disease in your body? This also works for if you're trying to heal and transform something in your life, and I'll touch on that a little bit here too. But particularly if you are trying to heal something in your body, and I'm going to share some personal examples from my own healing journey as well. But what this basically means, I want to share 3 things with you in this video. That why entrainment is important for you, for understanding entrainment and how to use it in your own healing process. So the first thing I want to share with this, considering entrainment in your healing process, is the importance of getting people around you when you are healing yourself, of having a support system, basically, the people that are going to be in your circle and who support you, are people who believe that you can heal yourself. And not having people in your circle that do not believe you can heal yourself. Why is this important? So when we understand entrainment, what ends up happening when you have some type of disease or illness that you've been diagnosed with and you're trying to go through, especially if it's chronic, and especially if it's something that the medical term, our current medical field believes is incurable. Right? You're trying to cure yourself from something and heal yourself from something that's incurable. It is very important that your support system that you have around you believes that you can heal yourself. Your support system, including, the alternative practitioners that you use, your family that you have around you, your friends, whoever your support system is, that the people you have around you believe you can heal yourself. Why this is important is because when you are, one other thing about entrainment, I forgot to tell you about this, about entrainment. This is a very important piece about this, is that the harmony that they get. Remember that the two oscillating bodies begin to vibrate in harmony together. Well, the harmony, what determines that particular harmony, what they tend to sync up and link up to, the vibration that they link up to, is the strongest vibration. So it's the strongest vibration that they become in harmony with. So whoever is the weakest vibration begins to tune up to the strongest vibration, not necessarily the highest vibration. Right? So not necessarily the what we would term the higher vibration is the one that they sync up to. It's the stronger vibration, the one that is the strongest, that is emitting the strongest frequency. Right? And so I'm going to go into this a little bit here in the first thing what I'm talking about, but I want to go back to that because that's very important to understand when you understand entrainment, that they will begin to harmonize vibration, but the strongest vibration is the determining vibration for which they become harmonized with. So when you talk about beliefs again, right? So if you've just been recently diagnosed with something, or you've had something for a very long time, and you're wanting to believe, your belief that you can heal that is not going to be very, very strong. Now, you may want it to be very strong, but this is very new for you, right? And so especially if it's something that you've been told was incurable, your belief that it can be cured, that your belief in your healing is that belief and that vibration of that you're trying to embody of wellness and healing is new. It's kind of like a new plant that's sprouting. It's like a sprout. It's not the full-grown tree. It doesn't have the strength of the tree in you yet. It's like a sprout. And so you have to be very careful to give that sprout an environment that allows it to grow and to be strong. If it gets overpowered by other stronger beliefs that you cannot heal, right? So example, if a doctor tells, if believed in our medical field that the situation that you have cannot be healed, then most people that in the West and in that particular paradigm are going to believe that that's not healable. And so your family probably may not believe it's healable if they follow that. The medical field that you're trying to get help in doesn't believe it's healable, and that is going to be a very strong belief system. So for example, when I first got diagnosed with AIDS and kidney failure, those are two things that under the Western medical paradigm that I live under in the West, that those are two particular health situations that are believed to be incurable. And they're believed that, and I was told that by my doctors and my medical team initially, that I would have these situations for life. But that was not what I wanted for myself. I wanted to be healed. I wanted to heal. And so that was what the belief that I was beginning to embody in myself was, nope, that's not my reality. My reality is that I am going to create well-being for myself and in my body. My kidneys are going to be back to fully functioning and my immune system is going to be healed. Now, the problem I had was the initial kidney doctor that I had did not believe that. And she thought I was delusional. And my mother thought she wanted to believe it, but she didn't really believe it at first because she is a doctor. And I've shared this many times before. My mother is a medical doctor. And so my mother didn't believe that I could heal either. And so one of the things that I had to do was, one, I changed my kidney doctor. I changed the doctor that I had to a doctor who was more willing to, he didn't necessarily believe I could heal myself, but he wasn't so strongly adamant about that I couldn't. He was willing to kind of, in his mind, kind of let me go with my beliefs and kind of hold, as long as I was following, as long as I was following my medical advice and I was doing what I could to treat my body. He was willing to allow me to hold my belief. He wasn't going to try and stop it or try to poo-poo on it. He was willing to let me hold that. So I changed my kidney doctor to someone who was going to be able to, who was not going to negate my beliefs. My mother, I had this very strong conversation with my mother where I told her, when she talks to me about my health situation, she cannot talk to me from a space of worry or fear. And if she is worried or in fear around my health situation, she can't come near me. Right? She has to go for a walk or she has to go somewhere else. And until she can get out of her worry and fear, then she can come around me. Because, again, my belief, I was trying to do something that was deemed impossible and that I was told impossible by people I believed in. So in order for me to strengthen my belief, I could not have people around me that believed it was not possible, because we were going to entrain together. We were going to sync up together. And because their vibration was stronger, because their belief system was stronger, I was going to eventually start to believe that it was impossible for me as well. This is something I talk to my clients about a lot, who are trying to heal from something. It is so important that you have a support system that believes that you can heal. And even for those of you all who are trying to support somebody who may not be going through a health challenge, who is trying to support somebody who is going through a health challenge, if you are in worry or in fear about that person's health situation, do not go around them for a while until you can change your fear and your worry. Not just because of the entrainment, but because also, remember, we are souls. We are all connected. This is oneness in action. We are having the appearance and the illusion of being separate, but we are not separate. We share we are in one energy field back and forth. And the closer you get to somebody, the more you begin to share, the more you begin to entrain. So you are literally going to pass your fear and your worry onto them, even if you never say it out of your mouth. You're going to pass it through your energy field, and it is going to affect them, and it is going to hinder their healing process. And so when you have people around you, so not just if you're supporting somebody, but if you are going through something, a health challenge, it is so vitally important that you do not have people around you who are worried about worried about that you're not going to heal, who don't believe that you're going to heal, because that is going to affect your healing process. You have got to get a support group around you of people who believe you are going to heal, even if it's just one person who believe it's possible for you to heal and believe you can heal. Right? That is so important, because you are going to sync up. And if you are around people who believe you can heal, what you're going to do is your vibration is going to sync up to I can heal and I am going to heal. If you're not, your vibration is going to sync up to I can't heal. And remember, your vibration is what determines your reality. So if you're holding a vibration within your body that I can't heal, you are not going to heal, no matter what type of diet you have, no matter what type of medical treatment you have. If you believe that you are not going to heal, you are not going to heal. Vice versa. If you entrain to the belief that you are going to heal, no matter what diet you have, no matter what medical system you have, you are going to heal. So you've got to really, that's the first thing. It's really, 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 really important that you get a support system, not just your family, not just your friends, but also whatever your medical team that you're using, right? Whatever alternative therapies that you're using, that you get people who support the belief that you can heal yourself and that you can achieve the level of wellness that you want. This is one of the reasons why it took me so long, and it's still taking me why it took me so long to heal the second time. The first time is what I told you about. Like when I got the support system around me and I began to set the boundaries that people who did not believe and that were worried could not come around me for a while, I healed myself within 3 months. And I had a miraculous healing. The reason why it took so long the second time is because I didn't have that same support system the second time, because now my medical team thought, well, maybe your healing that time was a fluke. This is really not possible, right? Because here I was the second time. And then also I had a little bit of worry in my system the second time. I was worried maybe, about it the second time. And I hadn't really, even though I had the near-death experience, I did not fully, I had worry. I didn't have full trust in my system anymore. And I didn't have a support group who could raise that, that was going to raise that trust, because they trusted in it. So it took a very, very long time. And I had to do what I learned through that was when I became aware of entrainment, because I wasn't aware of entrainment at that time. I didn't really understand, how our energy fields, how we shared energy back and forward, and how our consciousness and our vibration links up. I didn't understand that. And so what I had to do when I began to understand that in the second phase of my healing was isolate myself a bit. Now, I'm not, I've talked a lot about the importance of community and tribe in our healing, but the community and tribe I'm really speaking about is the community and tribe that you're trying to entrain to. The community and tribe that believes in wellness, that mirrors wellness, which I'll talk about here in a second as well. But if you don't have a tribe like that, you need to isolate yourself for a minute until you find one. But actively find one. Like, don't just isolate yourself and not find people who can support and uplift you and hold you in your healing process. You absolutely need that. But if the system around you, you can't find anybody in your circle that can do that right now, you need to pull back for a minute. You need to isolate for a minute so that your vibration is not getting messed up and getting entrained to something that is not going to support your wellness. So I had to isolate for a minute until I could find people who I could build my support system around, a new support system that I could entrain to, that could support the belief that I could heal myself, and that were a mirror of the wellness that I wanted to achieve for my own being. So that's number one. That's the first part of entrainment. As it relates to your healing process, is to have some people in your circle and in your support group, actually only people in your circle and your support group who support you. That doesn't mean necessarily also that you're going to completely cut these people out of your life. You just may need to reduce the time you spend with them right now, or not see them for a minute. Right? Just not spend time with them for a minute. Not that you'll never see them again, but right now, while I am healing myself, this is important. And I need this, right? So that's the first thing. Number two is that talking about entrainment in your healing process is to get around people, start hanging around people, start putting yourself in spaces. If you can't hang around them as far as friends or whatever, just get yourself in the environment where these people are, of people who are already healthy, of people who are already especially healthy in the area that you're trying to heal. So, they may be, if you have cancer, people who are cancer free. If you have, kidney issues, people whose kidneys are working very well. If you have, HIV or AIDS, people or an immune system issue, people whose immune systems are very strong. People who go to the gym, people who, eat well, people who are taking care of their bodies, people who are healthy. They are the examples of pillars of health, because you are wanting, and get around them as much as you can. Because you are trying to, again, the law of entrainment is when oscillating bodies are near each other, right? When they come together, they lock into a phase where they begin to vibrate in harmony together, right? And so you want to vibrate in harmony with wellness. So you want to get people around you that are well, not people around you that are sick. And this is something in my own journey that I had to learn, because as I began to look up, a lot of my friends that I had around me when I was in my healing journey the second time were people who were also either they were much older than I was, and they were experiencing things that were dealing with aging. Their bodies, their bones were aching. They weren't, being able to move very well. And what I found was initially, so there were two things that happened with this, that I noticed with this for my own self. I noticed there were some things that were going on with me where I began to experience, and this is something that I wasn't experiencing even when I was having the issues. I was on dialysis and having issues with HIV and AIDS. my body outside of just receiving dialysis was very healthy. I was very strong. I could work out. I could do, things like that. But I started to notice all of a sudden that I was starting to have kind of aches and pains in my bones, and my joints were starting to ache. And this was something I had never experienced before, and I didn't know necessarily where this was coming from. And my doctors were saying, "Oh, you're experiencing this type of thing from when your kidneys or whatever." But for a long time, even though I was on dialysis, had been on dialysis for years, I was not experiencing any of that. And what I began to look at was the friends, the people that I was hanging around. So you've heard this terminology before, that you become the sum total of the 5 friends you hang around, the 5 people you hang around the most, right? This is very true, because this is that's entrainment in action. You've heard it, especially they use it a lot in the personal growth field. They'll say, you're the sum total of the 5 friends you hang out with. So your amount of money, like look at your friend, the amount of money that you're making is probably comparable to the 5 people that you hang around. Your relationship status is probably comparable to the 5 people you hang around. Your health status. Well, as I began to look at this, I began to look at the people that I hung around the most, and they were people that were either, most of my friends were much older than I was, and they were people that were experiencing joint pain and arthritis and things like that. Although they didn't have like kidney failure and HIV, they had a lot of joint pain and arthritis and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like I've entrained to my friend group, right? I've entrained to them. They have had these problems for a long time, by the way. I had entrained to that. I had begun to have issues in my joints and in my bones when I wasn't having that before. And a way for me to heal that wasn't just to change my diet. I was changing my diet. I still wasn't seeing much improvement in that. I wasn't healing from it. The thing that I had to do, which was very hard for me because I loved my friends, but I had to release myself from that friend group. And I had to begin to hang around people who were well. And one of the things I had to do was, before not just get new friends that was well, was like I started to go to the gym. And I went to a new gym. Like the gym I was going to, by the way, was a gym that it was in my neighborhood, but it was a gym that mostly people that were older, that were in their 60s and up, they went to that gym most of the time. And so I tried to find a younger gym, a gym with people with my age and younger who were very healthy, who had no health. A lot of the people that I was, going to the aerobics classes and things with before, they were older. I had to start to go to the aerobics classes where the younger people went, the people who were healthier, who were vital, who weren't having any problems in their joints. They weren't having any problem moving around. And when I began to do that, I began to see my body dramatically change. I stopped having problems in those areas. My body started to feel better. My bones started to feel better. So the second thing is, you've got to start to hang around with people who are well, who are healthy. Again, especially if you are trying to heal yourself. Hang around with people who are already healthy and have been healthy for a long time. Again, because you want their vibration to be the stronger vibration between the two of you. So if you've been, especially if you have a chronic illness issue and you've had it for several years, you want to hang around people who've been healthy for years, not people who have just now gotten healthy, who have just now healed themselves, because that vibration is new. It's not really strong yet. It's a new vibration. It's still trying to get strongly anchored within them. You want to get around people who have been in that vibration of health and wellness for a long time, right? Even if it just means going to a gym, right? And spending a lot of time in the gym, hanging out with people who, cook healthy, going to a cooking class for healthy cooking, where people have been, eating healthy and experiencing good health for a while. Find different pockets, right, of things that you can do. If you don't have friends in your circle or family in your circle right now that you can get, find different pockets in your community, right? Gyms, cooking classes, people who talk about health and wellness. Find those pockets and spend a lot of time in those areas, because you're trying to entrain your vibration to wellness. So that's the second thing you want to do. First one is get people in your support group that believe you can heal. Second is hang around healthy people and well people already. And then the third thing, oh, well, actually, I want to share another thing about this because we see this a lot as well. This is the same thing that goes for like when people who are trying to heal from an addiction, like a substance abuse addiction. This is why the therapists tell you to, when you are coming out of when you're trying to heal from your addiction, you're trying to become sober from that, to tell you that you can't go to hang out with the places that you used to hang out with and the people that drink or that do drugs, because you are going to, even if you've been sober. This is why people who are newly sober and they go back into that old environment one time, they end up falling back into that because they entrain back into that environment, because that environment is very strong. Those people have been using for a while. Those people have been doing that for a while. Your soberness is a new vibration. It's not a very strong vibration yet. And so you get entrained back into that old vibration. That's why you cannot go back there for a long time until the sober vibration is very strong. The same thing with people who are trying to lose weight. Right? If people who are trying to lose weight, if you've ever tried to lose weight, and I've been through this journey many times for my own self, if you're trying to lose weight and you have people around you who aren't trying to lose weight, or they're not, they're bigger and you're wanting to be smaller, you'll find a lot of times that if you hang a lot around with them, it slows your weight loss process down, or it stops it altogether. Right? You don't eat well around them, or you don't exercise as much when you hang around them. You have to isolate yourself or separate themselves for a while, or get a whole new group of people who work out, or people who are also trying to lose weight with you, and they believe in the weight loss journey and they're doing it. This is entrainment in action. That's why that's so important. You cannot lose weight when all of your friends are, bigger and they're not interested in losing weight and they're not trying to lose weight. It's the same thing. You can't get sober when everybody around you is, drinking and using alcohol or using the drug that you're trying to get sober from. You can't do that. You have to get with people who are sober, with people who don't use drugs, with people who don't drink. Right? That's the new environment that you have to get, because you're trying to entrain yourself to that and not get yourself entrained back to what you're trying to leave. The same thing goes with illness. You cannot entrain yourself to wellness if your circle and people in your support group are sick and they are ill. You can't do that. You're going to, that vibration, illness vibration, is the strongest vibration in the group, and you're going to harmonize with that vibration. In order to get in harmony with wellness, you've got to get around the wellness vibration. Now, a whole nother video is once you become well and you hold that vibration very strongly, and you really, really hold it, and it is your vibration, you can go back to your old friends, to your friends who are sick, and entrain them to wellness. Entrain them. You can be the vibration that brings them up to wellness, but only once you've become well and you hold it very strongly in yourself. When you're in your healing journey, you can't do that. Your vibration is not strong enough to lift them like that. You're going to get entrained to the illness vibration. So that's number 2. Number 3 is something that is so important. It's something I teach all of my clients all of these things, but this is something I really imprint in my clients because not a lot of people talk about this, but this is very, 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 very important in your healing journey, is to clear the clutter in your home. To clean the clutter in your home, to have your home be a clutter-free space. Now, and to have your home be a home that makes you feel well. And so here's the thing, we don't just entrain our vibrations to other people, we also entrain vibrations to other objects. So if you have a lot of clutter in your house is very dirty, it's not ordered, there's not a lot of free-flowing energy in your house, it's not clean, the vibration of your body is going to get entrained to the vibration in your house. I'm going to say that again. If your house is not clean, it's not orderly, there's a lot of dust and confusion and things everywhere in your house, your vibration is going to get entrained to the vibration of your house. That is an unwell vibration. You want to, when you are trying to heal, you want to have a very clean, orderly, clutter-free house. The things we have in our house affect our vibration a lot. Your environment that you move in affects your vibration as well, not just the thoughts that you think, but the environment that you move in affects your vibration as well. And if your house that you live in is not clean and clutter-free, it is going to affect your healing process. It is going to slow it down and almost prevent it dramatically. So you want to clean your house. You want to have it clean. You want to have everything in order. You don't want to have a lot of things laying around and out of place. You don't want to have that. You also don't want to have a lot of like sick things in your house. Like if there's plants that aren't, if you have a lot of plants in your house and they're not doing well, you know, either do what you need to do to heal and have healthy plants, or give those plants to somebody who can heal those plants and make them well, and you bring healthy plants into your space. Because again, you want to make sure your house is a house that vibrates wellness, because your house vibration is going to entrain you to it. This is why a lot of times when you find if your house is dirty and you clean it, you feel better. You feel better all of a sudden. Your energy feels lighter. You feel more relaxed. You feel more at ease. There's no coincidence, you all. This is all energy. This is all about energy, right? So what's the energy in your house? Does it say wellness? Does it say healing? Does it feel healing and feel like health and wellness, right? So clean your house. If you have to hire somebody, I know that I love a clean house, and I know that I like a very clean house. I also know that the energy expenditure that I put out when I'm trying to clean my house drains me, and I'm still in my healing process. So I don't need to drain my energy in that way. So I hire somebody. I have somebody that comes and cleans my house to make sure my house is clean. I also make sure that my house is clutter-free and it's order. I have a place for everything and everything in its place, right? And yeah, so it's very important. It's just something I used to do with my clients that live in the same town, or my VIP clients, is I will literally go to their house and I'll walk through their house with them, and I'll show them how the energy of their house is affecting them, and how they can change their energy in their house by just clearing it up, or changing the direction of some things, or putting a plant over here or something like that. That's something I do with my VIP clients, is I actually go through their house with them and I help them understand how to create a house that helps them heal, and helps them not just heal if they're going through something, an illness in their body, but also if they're trying to transform their life in some way, they're trying to manifest their life or up level their life, how the energy in their house can help them manifest what they want and up the level their life. But the first step, and the most important step, is to clear your clutter. Clean your closet out. Like if your closet has a lot of clothes that you don't wear, a lot of clothes that don't make you feel good, right? They're just clothes that you put on, right? Your clothes should actually make you feel good. They should make you feel sexy. They should make you feel healthy. They shouldn't be too tight. They shouldn't be too big. They should make you feel vibrant, right? You want to go through your closet and release all the things and give them to Goodwill, or give them to friends that you know would wear your clothes, or to the homeless. Give away all that stuff that doesn't fit with that. If your clothes don't bring you a sense of joy, if they don't make you feel sexy and alive when you put them on, give them away. Make sure your closet is clean. Like, go through every area of your house, clear the clutter. And then begin to first step is to clear the clutter. Second step is to begin to put things in your house that make you feel healthy, and then make you feel well, and then make you feel a sense of joy, and make you feel a sense of love. Those are healthy vibrations, by the way. So those are the things. Those are the three main things to understand when you are looking at entrainment and your healing process. This is very, very, very important. Not a lot of people talk about this. Not a lot of people, especially healers, we don't talk about this in our medical field. A lot of healers don't necessarily talk about this element of entrainment either, but this is very, very important. You can research it more. It is a quantum physics principle. It's called entrainment. And how it affects your healing journey is you are going to harmonize with the things in your house and the people that are most around you. Make sure that the people that are most around you are well and that they believe in your ability to heal yourself. And make sure that the house that you live in is clean and that it has the energy of wellness and healing that you want to embody. Thank you all for watching. I hope this information helps you in your healing journey. And as always, if you know someone who can benefit from this video, please share this with them. My great intention is to help as many people as I can experience true and delicious well-being, the well-being that they not only deserve, but that they intended to live when they incarnated here as a soul on earth. Until next time, you all, I love you, much love and well-being. Bye.